Good afternoon. Welcome to today's meeting, and I will call the meeting for the San Bernardino International Airport Authority to order. Today is Wednesday, February the 22nd, 2023, and it is approximately 3:03 p.m. Madam Clerk, would you please do roll call?
Yes, certainly. Please state your names for the record. Members from the City of Colton.
Frank Navarro.
Thank you. Members from the City of Loma Linda.
Dusty Rigsby.
Thank you. With Member Duper in the audience. Member from the County of San Bernardino, 3rd District.
Don Rao.
Thank you. Members from the City of Highland.
Penny Lilburn and alternate Larry McCallum is in the audience.
Thank you very much. And members from the City of San Bernardino.
Theodore Sanchez.
Helen Tran, and we also have an alternate, Fred Charette, in the audience.
Thank you very much. We have a full quorum.
Thank you very much. We have no closed session today, so we'll move into the regular agenda. And I would like to have Councilmember Sanchez lead us in the pledge today.
Yes, if we can all rise, please. Face our flag. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilmember.
Thank you, Mayor.
Mr. Burrows, for future editions of the Pledge of Allegiance, could we project a big flag on that screen?
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
We have the technology.
Thank you. Okay. Any items to be added or deleted from the agenda, Madam Clerk?
No items.
Thank you. Time for conflict of interest disclosures. Anybody wishing to disclose conflict on any item on the agenda? Hearing none, we're moving on to informational items. Mr. Burrows, please.
Yes, thank you. I will start off with Ms. Pritchett, who has yet again, year over year, been able to organize any updates to our policies and procedures. Kat.
Good afternoon. Thank you. This year we had quite a few modifications to procedures as we adjusted our operations with the current passenger service that we've seen. So we wanted to really highlight some of the policy changes that we did make to our documents this past year. Most of these relate directly to personnel, with the exception of one that we'll highlight in just a bit. So bereavement, the state law did increase bereavement days from 3 to 5 days. This is the use of sick leave. It is not paid leave. Background and badging, we did make significant modifications consistent with the federalization of the airfield, and this is a lot of testing that will allow access onto the AOA. Job postings with SB 1162, we do now have to post our job postings in their entirety with the salary ranges, which will be online. CFRA and FMLA extends the sick leave designation to designated persons rather than identifying immediate family members. Something that we have been really excited about this past year and a long time coming is our talented clerk of the board team previously managed all of our IT functions. We separated that entire function out and created an entirely separate IT department this year. So with that, our IT policies were updated to identify the correct people and the correct procedures to utilize a lot of those new services. And the notice of violation policy is an enforcement policy that we put in place for all people with access and driving privileges on the airport operations area. So that was designated to tenants and visitors, but we extended that to include our staff and all of our employees as well. So those are the significant policies. The airport team is happy and healthy and growing. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Comments or questions from the Commissioner? See none. Thank you very much, Ms. Pritchett.
All right, now for the fun one. It was great to see many of you last week at the inaugural launch of our Las Vegas service on Breeze. I will say, testimonial, that it was also impressive to see how many passengers were going on to Hartford, Connecticut. So second busiest airport in New England, and they're directly connected to your airport. So thanks for all the time, and it was a good time. But I'd like Mr. Gibbs just to give you a little more background, on the Breeze activity, and that we're up and away here. So, Mark.
Thank you, Mike. As many of you know, because you were on site, so glad to see everyone join the festivities last week. Last Thursday was our inaugural launch, Breeze Airways from San Bernardino to Las Vegas and continuing on to Hartford, Connecticut. It was a great event. That is a brand new aircraft you're looking at. As Breeze continues to take on new inventory of aircraft at the rate of one per month, we're starting to see additional destinations available. And that includes the growing success from San Bernardino. So we're very excited after just 3 months of service of our initial first ever service, I should say, from San Bernardino to San Francisco and then on to Provo. 3 months later, they announced a new route. And down to enjoy the festivities with us was the founder and CEO, David Neeleman himself. So here he is with all these attractive people inside the terminal, kicking off the new route to Las Vegas and on to Hartford. And it was a really neat event for a lot of reasons, but first and most importantly were all of our different partners. In addition to Breeze, Yamava was there, along with the Palms, to join in the festivities and bring some of the entertainment that you saw. So, for example, the Showgirls and Elvis, who somehow escaped. This is the only picture of the man escaped. Oh, no, there he is. He's in the back. He's hanging out with Fred and Ted. I love it. So that was through our partnership and friends with the Palms Casino, who want to see these flights succeed as much as the rest of us, as well as Yamava, who is a great partner in this as well. But they also brought some additional resources to help further the message. That included Dusty the Rapper. And no, I don't mean Dusty Rigsby, but there's another rapper out there called Dusty. And he's got a significant following and was posting not only during the event, but after with significant traffic and increase in impressions. I think it's also important to add that from a media standpoint, we had a great response. Channel 7 was on site. The morning personalities on KCAL and COLA were there on site conducting interviews, doing live broadcasts, and as well as KVCR, the Sun newspaper, Redlands Daily Facts. It was a strong event. Everyone that got off of the plane received a gift bag. Everyone that got on the plane received an additional gift bag. So we saw a lot of happy customers, and that's how we like to do it in San Bernardino. So thanks everyone for joining. We're excited to see what the future holds.
And I just buttress that Mark and I have now, after all these years, figured out that if you want true professional talent and entertainment, you threaten to dress up like Elvis so you can get a real performer. And thankfully we had that. So appreciate everybody, and it's an exciting time for us. Tomorrow is round 2 for Vegas. So I will hand it back to Mark, because this month is an important month for a number of things with FAA, but one of those also includes our readiness for an emergency situation at the airport. That's part of our training that we do, and Mark and the team certainly real time just had some stuff going on today to meet that compliance threshold. So Mark?
Thank you, Mike. As opposed to the presentation you just saw, not all the things don't always go right all the time. And so we like to stay ahead of that. So to do that, we've got an airport emergency plan. And it's required by the FAA. We follow their protocols and federal requirements as part of our stated plan that is approved by the FAA. And that includes each year we conduct a tabletop exercise with the affected agencies. So that includes local PD, airport PD, TSA, fire departments, hospitals, emergency services, coroners, ambulance companies. All of them are invited to our tabletop each year, and the planning process continues. So there are quite a few different elements to the plan, and this year a bomb threat was tested, and it went very successful with participation from TSA and our air marshals, as well as staff. So I think it's important to note that our staff is cross-trained with their emergency roles, and this is the opportunity to test the system that we have in place and to explore any weaknesses that we find from testing it, And I think it's also important, you may not have met Andres Zapata, but he is our airport operations manager. He's the good-looking guy in the corner over there. He conducted the tabletop today and led that effort. It was his first time doing it. He did a fantastic job. And whatever takeaways come from that exercise are documented and sent to the FAA, and it remains as part of the airport record. So anyhow, it was a good event, and we're excited to share this success.
Thank you, Mark.
And that concludes our reports.
Okay.
Any questions?
Mayor Pro Tem Gilburn has a question.
I just had a question. Is there any chance that the commissioners can get that photo that you had up there?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah, happy to
appreciate
share. Amber's attended some family issues, but we'll have Evelyn send it to you. So, absolutely.
Thank you. Commission consent items.
Move it.
Second.
Okay, Councilmember Rigsby moves it. Mayor Pro Tem Gilburn seconds. And of course, if you would, any public comment on the consent calendar?
No public comments.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We have a motion by Member Rigsby and a second by Member Lilburn. Please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro.
Yes.
Member Rigsby.
Yes.
Member Rao.
Yes.
Member Lilburn.
Yes.
Member Tran.
Yes.
And Member Sanchez.
Yes.
Thank you. That item is passed unanimously.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Moving on to commission action items. Item number 9. This is to consider and adopt a proposed budget adjustments for fiscal year 2022-2023. Mr. Cosino, if you would please, sir.
Thank you. This action is to consider approving a net increase in budgetary expenditures of $112,750 that will be funded with existing resources and anticipated and ongoing revenues. The proposed expenditure increases are in the general fund for insurance claims of $46,000, which we expect to be recovered from the party that damaged our streets and sidewalks and sewers. Contract services of $40,000 to support airline operations, and a small increase of navigation aids of $33,900 to for a part for our instrument landing system. Capital Projects Fund, we have increases for the Airport Green Energy Element for consulting services to support the hydrogen hub of $50,000, and the FAA Air Operations Area Vehicle Access Road for $132,800, which we expect to receive a grant from the FAA for an amount similar to that, a little less. And that is to improve overall the energy quality and resilience on the airport, as well as safe vehicle operations on the airfield. The final fund is the Property Management Fund. We're looking, just as a housekeeping item, as far as the budget goes, to clear a $6,750 deficit for uninsured emergency repairs that were made to a light pole that was knocked down where we could not identify the responsible party. And that concludes my report.
Any comments or questions from commissioners? Okay.
Move it.
Thank you. I have a motion by Councilmember Rigsby and a second, please.
Second.
Second by Mayor Tran.
Thank you very much. We have a motion by Member Rigsby and a second by Member Tran. Please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro.
Yes.
Member Rigsby.
Yes.
Member Rao.
Yes.
Member Lilburn.
Yes.
Member Tran.
Yes.
And Member Sanchez.
Yes.
Thank you. That item passes unanimously.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 10. This is approve a construction contract with Jurgensen Construction for the City Creek Bypass Channel Maintenance and Repair Phase 1 project in the amount of $96,335.20. Mr. Barrows, please.
Thank you. Staff received bids for construction for the City Bypass Channel Maintenance and Repair Phase 1 project back in January of '22. All bids were considerably above the estimate for construction. Staff redesigned the project and issued for bidding again. The clerk of the board received all new bids back in February 9th of 2023. The proposed construction provides for repairs in need of immediate attention to the City Bypass Channel. Approval of the construction contract with Jurgensen for the construction city bypass channels and maintenance repair project Phase 1, an amount not to exceed $96,335.20, and authorize the chief executive officer to execute all related documents. Staff recommends the commission approve the above recommendation actions.
Any public comment on this?
No public comments.
Thank you. Any comments or questions from commissioners on this item? Seeing none, Chair will request a motion.
Move it.
Councilmember Rigsby moves. I need a second.
Second.
Mayor Tran, seconds. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a motion by Member Rigsby and a second by Member Tran. Please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro.
Yes.
Member Rigsby.
Yes.
Member Rao.
Yes.
Member Lilburn.
Yes.
Member Tran.
Yes.
And Member Sanchez.
Yes.
Thank you. The item passes unanimously.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item 11. Item 11 is to approve amendment number 1 to the professional services agreement with JBT Aerotech Corporation, the amount of $53,499.16. And this one, Mr. Stephen McIntyre, please.
Thank you. On November 17th, 2022, the San Bernardino International Airport Authority Commission approved a professional services agreement with JBT Aerotech Corporation to provide preventative maintenance and as-needed repairs for 3 passenger boarding bridges not to exceed $96,584. Continual daily use and routine inspections have identified additional repairs necessary to continue the safe and reliable use of our passenger boarding bridges to support passenger aircraft boardings at San Bernardino International Airport. This additional funding is anticipated to recover the costs and repairs necessary at this time. Recommended action, we are recommending that we approve amendment number 1 to the professional services agreement with JBT Aerotech Corporation in the amount of $53,499.16 for a total not to exceed contract amount of $150,000, and authorize the chief executive officer to execute all related documents. And staff recommends that SBIAA Commission approve the above recommended action.
Thank you. Public comment, ma'am?
No public comment.
Comments or questions from commissioners, please? Seeing none?
Move approval to amendment number 1.
Okay. Councilmember Rigsby moves to approve amendment number 1. Mayor Pro Tem Lilburn, seconds.
Thank you. We have a motion by Member Rigsby and a second by Member Lilburn. Please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro.
Yes.
Member Rigsby.
Yes.
Member Rao.
Yes.
Member Lilburn.
Yes.
Member Tran.
Yes.
And Member Sanchez.
Yes.
Thank you. The item passes unanimously.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 12. This is approve amendment number 1 to the professional services agreement with LSA Associates Incorporated in the amount of $47,000. And presenter on this is Mr. Gibbs. Mr. Gibbs, if you would please.
Thank you, Mayor. As a commercially certified airport, the FAA requires that we have a certified airport wildlife biologist. And we normally keep one on staff each year as a contractor. But this last year, we had a triggering event where a bird was ingested into an engine, which was a triggering event, meaning that we had to study the issue further. We have a wildlife management plan that is underway, and due to the ongoing effort, there were additional funds that are required to continue and complete that study. Once it's complete and finalized, it'll be reviewed, it'll be submitted to the FAA for their approval, and then any new items coming out of that will be implemented through the resulting update to our airport wildlife plan. So this amount is for ongoing work to continue to finalize that wildlife hazard assessment that will turn into the wildlife management plan update. And I'm happy to answer any further questions you may have.
Public comment?
No public comments.
Thank you. Questions, commissioners?
I have a question. Is the regulatory overburden because of concern for the bird or for the plane?
We like to think it's for the passengers and the plane.
Chair.
Yes.
Mike, are you working in connection with the basin over there on Green?
Yeah, that's a separate mitigation issue, but this same firm has already been tasked to review and approve Valley and East Valley's mitigation measure. They've already been.
Have we seen any issues with that as of yet?
No, thus far, they're sticking to the plan, but there is an inspection. There'll be an annual inspection. The water district will be paying for that. We'll get reimbursed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments, questions?
I guess whatever documentation is going to be produced from this certified wildlife biologist, is this a document that will, I mean, what's the shelf life of this document? Is this a 2-year document?
Yeah, that's a
Are we
great
gonna do
question.
this every time we hit a bird?
So there's a wildlife assessment, and they take a very thorough and data-driven approach to understand migratory patterns, weather, and a whole host of the airport environment, what seeds and weeds and water are attracting that wildlife. And that assessment takes about a year. It's a very thorough process. And after that, there are best practices to, first to identify the effort, and then you find a way to mitigate it. So one of the mitigation efforts that we've already taken to stay ahead of this was we ended up with Norton the dog. And Norton the dog is a trained service animal that we host, and he has his own office in the ops department. But he's a very serious individual when it comes time to work, and his job is to chase away birds. As this plan unfolds, you'll see more actions like that. Maybe it's how high we're mowing our weeds. Maybe it's reducing, ponding water in and around the airport. Things of that nature. Maybe there's certain plants that are attractive. Maybe we need to trim our trees more often to take away food sources. All that kind of stuff gets thoroughly reviewed. Not all animal species are the same. But to answer your question more specifically, the plan doesn't change unless it becomes necessary. And after a triggering event, that means that something different is happening, and that was actually the case. We had ferruginous hawks that decided to locate on the airport. Well, that was new to us. We hadn't seen any in this area, and getting to the bottom of that, understanding why and how we can mitigate it is really the focal point of that study by LSA.
Will that study be presented to this board for final approval, or is it just something that we?
No, it'll get presented to the FAA for their approval, and then become part of our airport certification manual as its own takeaway chapter in it.
Oh, okay. I think when it comes to public safety, we have to be, the board is going to be responsible at some level, right, if anything happens. And I think it'd be good, even if it shows up as just an informational item, for you guys to present or publicize that whatever that assessment document dictates, we can kind of have that and say, yeah, we went over it as a board.
We're happy to give you access to it anytime you'd like. It's not a publicly published document, but we're happy to give you access anytime you'd like to see it.
Okay, all right.
I just buttress that in case it comes up down the road, one of the other complicating factors of these types of analyses is the fact that the airport went green a long, long time ago when we were trying to get the property from the Air Force. So many of these areas that they're having to inspect and monitor and report on were previously designated as habitat for endangered species. So you have about 220 acres of your airport infield areas that are protected for the Santa Ana River woolly star and the San Bernardino, our very own kangaroo rat. But these are folks who are especially trained to deal with that as well.
Kangaroo rats.
Mayor Tran?
I have a question. When did this occur with the bird? Just out of curiosity. How long ago?
I would defer to Andres for a more specific time. I believe it was in early 2022.
Okay.
Yeah, early 2022 is Yes, early 2022 is an accurate date for that.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. Well, I'm glad to see that Councilmember Sanchez brought up the issue and that Mark included our service dog. Because I was going to ask, where is our dog?
He's not sleeping, is he?
No, he's out of the
He has required hours of sleep.
Okay.
Keep him healthy.
All right. Thank you. Moving on then to item number 13. This is to approve change order number 3 with Goss Construction Company.
I think, or we still need a vote.
I'm sorry. I need a motion, I'm sorry.
I can motion.
The conversation.
Who to approve?
Mayor Tran motioned, I think.
Mayor Tran motions. Second, please.
Second.
Councilmember Sanchez, second.
Thank you
Okay,
very
let's
much. We have a motion by Member Tran and a second by Member Sanchez. Please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro?
Yes.
Member Rigsby?
Yes.
Member Rao?
Yes.
Member Lilburn?
Yes.
Member Tran?
Yes.
And Member Sanchez?
Yes.
Thank you. Item passes unanimously.
Thank you. Okay, now we're back on track. Item number 13, approve change order number 3 with Goss Construction Company Incorporated, which carries a cost impact of $153,876.63 for runway 624 joint and spall repair project. Mr. Gibbs, if you would, please.
Thank you, Mayor. This change order is for ongoing work taking place on the airport's runway. It's in the amount of $153,876.63, and that would bring the project total to $4,074,242.49. This is largely due to delays associated with the project and different type of paint that's required for the project, given that we are in the middle of winter. So those project delays have impacted some of the rental equipment by the contractor, as well as the contractor not being able to access the airport in the time given in the contract, and that's led to a little bit of cost overrun on the project. I think it's also important to note that this is a grant-funded project by the FAA, so they fund 90% of this project, and it's really close to conclusion. The only outstanding work that remains is repainting the runway, and as you can imagine, 10,000 feet, 200 feet wide, means a whole lot of paint. These aren't highway stripes. They're pretty large. Some of them are as wide as 30 feet long and 150 feet long. There's quite a bit of paint involved, but that's the last remaining item, and we hope to conclude this, weather permitting, by mid-March. So with that in mind, staff requests your approval on this project. Change order.
Thank you. Comments or questions from commissioners on this item? Any public comment?
No public comment.
Thank you.
Move approval.
Thank you. Councilmember Risby moves for approval. Chair will entertain a second.
Second.
Councilmember Sanchez seconds the item. Madam Clerk?
Thank you. We have a motion by Member Rigsby and a second by Member Sanchez. Please state your vote for the record. Member Navarro?
Yes.
Member Rigsby?
Yes.
Member Rao?
Yes.
Member Lilburn?
Yes.
Member Tran?
Yes.
And Member Sanchez?
Yes.
Thank you. That item passes unanimously.
Thank you very much. Item number 14 is approve award of a professional services agreement with ACOM Technical Services Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $132,723. Mr. Gibbs, again.
Thank you, Mayor. This project is another grant-funded project, but it's actually from a different pot of money than normal. Typically, FAA-funded projects are from the Aviation Trust Fund that is administered from headquarters in D.C. This one is actually funded by the bipartisan infrastructure law, but it's administered through the FAA. And the airport has allocated funds for this project. They're 100% dollars as opposed to the FAA's funding formula, which is 90% dollars. So this portion of the project is for the design of the project. We went through the procurement policy of the FAA in selecting ACOM as the most qualified firm for this work. That panel included Mr. Barrow, Mr. Bajar, and myself to evaluate proposals. It was pretty straightforward. We received one, despite our best efforts of advertising, I should say publicly advertising the project, as well as reaching out to known firms that are known to conduct this type of work. But from that solicitation and RFQ process, we received one bidder. We're very familiar with ACOM. They've designed most of our aviation and FAA-funded projects over the years, and they're definitely qualified to perform the work. We'll ensure that the costs that they have proposed are reasonable and adequate in accordance with FAA requirements for reviewing these type of solicitations. With that said, we're seeking your approval to award this design project to AECOM Technical Services in the amount of $132,000. Excuse me, 132 and 102. I'm going to get this right. $132,723. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Gibbs. Public comment?
No public comments.
Comments or questions from commissioners? I do have a question. Since there was only, and I'm not clear yet on our policy for RFPs and stuff. Since
Yeah,
we only received one bid.
For professional services, we have to make sure we've done the procurement. And for the record, asked Mr. Gibbs about this. We did inquire with the non-responding firms as to why, and that's a good thing for your economy because they're all busy and they couldn't commit to the time. So we met our procedural requirement.
Okay, thank you.
It's not a construction bid, it's professional.
I just want to clarify that. Thanks. Thank you very much.
Move approval.
Councilmember Rigsby moves for approval.
Second.
Mayor Tran seconds. Madam Clerk?
Thank you. We have a motion by Member Rigsby and a second by Member Tran. Please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro?
Yes.
Member Rigsby?
Yes.
Member Rao?
Yes.
Member Lilburn?
Yes.
Member Tran?
Yes.
And Member Sanchez?
Yes.
Thank you. That item passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to item number 15. This is approved change order number 2 with Griffith Company with a project cost impact of $344,358.76 for the taxiway shoulder improvement project. Whoa, Mr. Gibbs, you're the all-star today.
Thank you, Mayor. This is the other ongoing FAA-funded project taking place on your airport today. The project is essentially complete, and this change order, it has to do with modifications to the materials that were required for the project. And the amount came out to $344,358.76. I think it's important to note that in addition to that, there will be a final reconciliation on this project, and you'll see approximately $200,000 come back to the project that was an allowance for an unforeseen work item. It's not part of this change order today, but I think it's important to note because the balance of these dollars essentially reconcile with the grant. So again, this is another FAA-funded AIP project. The FAA pays 90% of this project, and the airport pays the remaining 10% of the project. So with that in mind, the staff is seeking your approval for change order number 2 with the Griffith Company for this taxiway shoulder project.
Thank you. Public comment?
No public comments.
Comments or questions from commissioners?
Yes, I see here the crushed aggregate base. What is that?
So that is the sub-base material that is placed below the asphalt and provides for long-term stability of the asphalt surface. So if it were just native soils underneath it, call it sand or dirt, asphalt being a flexible material, over time, if any equipment, vehicles, aircraft go over that, it'll create ruts or it will crack and it will, its life will be decreased. So with the additional base material, we're able to get the compaction that's necessary for the long-term viability of the asphalt shoulders.
And so this crushed aggregate base, where's it coming from, or what is it made of?
So it's made up of different type of aggregate materials that essentially lock together. So if you think of like...
recycled concrete?
Yeah, that could be a constituent component of it. If you were a little bit older like me, maybe you played a game called Tetris, and where you have to lock everything together.
Yes.
And that's essentially what base material does. So you have different percentages of materials that essentially lock in together once you add water to them and roll them, and it essentially you can get up to 99% compaction on it. So yeah, base material it's a great product and provides for a very stable material underneath that flexible pavement on top.
Yeah, okay. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Chair will entertain a motion.
Move approval.
Second.
Councilmember Rigsby moves for approval. Councilmember Sanchez seconds the motion. Madam Clerk, can you would please?
Yes, thank you. We have a motion by Member Rigsby and a second by Member Sanchez. Please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro?
Yes.
Member Rigsby?
Yes.
Member Rao?
Yes.
Member Lilburn?
Yes.
Member Tran?
Yes.
And Member Sanchez?
Yes.
Thank you. That item passes unanimously.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 16, the review status of the action plan for the San Bernardino International Airport Authority. Mr. Burrows, you're on.
So for once, we'll give Mark a rest here for today. So
Yes.
for future reference, though, just saying, there's a few things that Mark loves to talk about: his family, aviation, cars, and concrete. So just, keep that in mind. So, obviously, we just buttoned up some mid-year adjustments on the budget. You heard about the emergency exercise. Looking forward to March. Mr. Cousineau, finally, and the team are able to bundle up under wonderful new GASB procedures and requirements and regulations your annual audit. So in the April timeframe, we should have the team here ready to present that to you. In addition, as you all know in your respective organizations, there's this little thing at the state and federal level called legislation. And we typically try to give you a snapshot of some key bills out there that we've been tracking that may have some impacts on your airport. So select a few of those and highlight the opportunity there. So good way to show support where you want to, and then obviously understand some of the changes that are in the works. Thus far, none of those impact CAT's policies and procedures, so that's good. We appreciate that. And then we'll have another refresh on how things are going with the new Vegas service for you next month. So that concludes our report, but thanks for your time.
Thank you. Any added or deferred items, Madam Clerk?
None.
Thank you. Open session public comment. Do we have any public comment cards?
No public comments.
Thank you. Commission member comments. Mr. Sanchez?
Only that we got to bring in that dog. Bring it in as
I
a,
was
like a
waiting
show
for
and
that.
tell.
We'd be happy to. So Andres, yeah.
They wear goggles and all, right? That's what I've heard.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You've seen Snoopy, right? Yeah, next meeting we'll have
Supervisor
an
Rowe?
appearance.
No.
Mayor Pro Tem?
We had our first ad hoc committee for the SBD CARES, and I just want to say thanks to Fred Charette and Don Real for meeting today, and staff for updating us on all the information. So we now know where to go forward, and appreciate your help on that.
Thank you all for your time, too.
Yep. Mayor Tran?
Just want to say thank you about for the Breezeway launch. That was wonderful. That was a great launch and it's a, just the beginning, I see. So I look forward to more.
Councilmember Ritzman? No? Nothing? Okay. Just
So one last thing, I was completely remiss. My manners are, totally at the door. I do want to introduce Mac, as we call him, Stephen McIntyre. He comes to us with a wealth of experience and is making it happen out there with our maintenance division. So I want to welcome Mac to his first meeting.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yep. Did it? Okay. Our next meeting will be,
March 22nd.
I'm sorry,
March 22nd.
March 20th.
22nd.
22nd. Thank you. So until then, we are adjourned.
March 22nd.